About 3 or 4 years ago, I heard someone in a YouTube video say to me that if you want something, not to put it up on a pedestal. And I really thought I understood what that meant at the time. I got a lot of downloads from hearing that. It changed my life drastically. But about 3.5 years later, I'm starting to tune on a lot more to the internal realization of what that means and what it feels like. And that's actually why I just wanted to make this quick video to share with you guys what it really means to not put something on a pedestal. This is something that is transformative for everybody's life, no matter who you are, no matter what your goals are or aren't. This is a vibration mechanic that is really at the core of being able to live an incredible life. It's about being neutral. It's about being good with the way that things are, no matter what. It's about not needing this to feel good. You can still have goals. You can still have things that are cool to you that you work on and that are meaningful to you. It's the importance. It's that excess energy that we project at things that causes us to not be able to be equal with it, because you're pushing it away. You're saying it's higher up energetically. If you were neutral, then what you're saying is that you are a match for that reality, where you have that or where you get to experience that, because it's neutral to you, because it's just who you are. When you are super focused on something and you're identifying with it and you're telling stories about it in your mind, you're fantasizing about it being here. Oh, it would be so nice if it was here. What's happening is that you're taking a lot of your power, which I've learned for myself. You manifest, and power, the power that you are, moves through you via your intention. What are you paying attention to? What are you giving your attention to? What are you focused on in your life? That seems to me to be where my power comes in and expands things and makes things happen. So when you're focusing in this like fantasy in your mind of how exciting it would be to have something, or it's really important to you, what I've been learning is that you're taking your power and you're putting it up here into almost this kind of cloud, into this kind of fantasy story that you're living in your mind. If you keep your attention and your power to yourself and you don't give it to all these stories in your mind, and that means the story we tell ourselves about our identity, about what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, what do you want? All of these things I've been learning, it's like this tugging, it's this push and this pull of all these different stories and archetypes and scripts that are playing out around us in reality. And we don't realize, but we are feeding our energy into these stories. But the way we're doing it makes it so that we don't even actually get to experience the reality of that story, because we're fueling the fantasy story in our mind, not the actual, it's happening in reality, in real life. I have kind of pulled back my attention and all the things that I wanted up in this cloud up here that I focus, oh, I want that, all this story and all these things that are super important to me. I've pulled back my attention. And what's interesting is that my power, my energy, now, it's here with me, right here, right now in this moment. It's not up there in that fantasy anymore, it's right here. And while I'm simultaneously not putting things on pedestals around me, it's like you can just walk through life like, I'm alive, I'm here. It is what it is. Everything is really neutral, I've been seeing. There's a difference between waking up, as in like spiritual awakening. There's a difference between waking up versus just finding a new dream to sleep in. There's a difference between waking up out of an illusion and just choosing a new illusion to exist in. And I've been realizing for myself, and there's nothing wrong with it, it just was a choice I was making for a while, and like I said, I'm grateful for it, so no problem. But I've been realizing that I was choosing a new illusion. I woke up out of this story that I'd been telling myself for a very long time. I woke up out of it and I said, oh, I'm the creator of my reality. And I simply chose a new story to exist in. I chose a new one. It was a good story. I had a great time with it. It was valuable to me. But I still didn't really step into my power or who I really am yet, because I was just choosing a new story. There's something else that's right here, right now, in this very moment. Free from stories. Not identifying or attaching to things. Not gripping my hands around some kind of concept and constantly living in my mind, turning it over, turning it this way, turning it that way. Oh, look at that. You know, when you're constantly fueling a story in your mind, how could you possibly see what's directly in front of you? You don't see it. What you see is your story about it. You're seeing your perspective of it. You're seeing based on your beliefs, your identity, your attachments. Like this tree right here, for example. This is a pretty shallow example I'm giving you, but I know you guys feel what I'm putting down. It's like, you know, I don't see the tree. All I see is my fantasy, my idea, the story I tell myself about the tree. And I've been realizing that those ups and downs, that's all about different stories pushing and pulling me. And I just keep identifying with new ones. Maybe this story is right. Maybe this story, maybe this story. But my head is always in the sand no matter which story I choose. But when you just be in the isness that you are here in this very moment. And right here, right now is where my power is. Right here, right now is where I am. I'm not over there in that story I keep telling myself. I'm not going to find my salvation over there. I'm right here, right now. And so let's look at the intro to this video again and clarify something. To top this off, let's put the cherry on this cake, baby. When you put something on a pedestal, you push it away from yourself. If you're putting anything on a pedestal, it's because of your identity and attachments and the story you tell yourself. It makes no sense that this specific goal or person or financial situation or item or whatever, it makes no sense that that is going to bring you joy. It makes no sense. It's an illusion. We're lying to ourselves. I'm not saying that you can't experience joy from the experience of living a story or that you won't be happy when you finally achieve it. What I'm trying to say is that it's an illusion because your power is right here, because you are right here. You're not actually over there. And by the time you get over there a few weeks from now, let's say that's when you get it, that thing that you've been wanting. By the time you're actually over there, guess what time it is? It's now. It is the now moment. That's when you're actually there. So you always receive everything in the now. Now is where you receive. And if you're always living in a story in your mind, you are never actually here in the now. You'll miss it. You won't see the gift of the tree being given to you. You won't actually be receiving the power that you've been asking for because you're constantly projecting your stuff in the future and worried about the past and living in these stories in your mind. So this is a lot that came out in this video. I honestly didn't anticipate that this is where this video would go. I didn't know. I just felt like turning this on, and so I did. The point is, if there is something that you want in your life, if you keep putting it on a pedestal, vibration mechanics, law of attraction, playlist below, learn more, go for it. You're pushing it away. You're saying you're not equal to it. And you can only have things in life that you're equal to, that are natural to you. If you want more money, but you walk through a store with a bunch of expensive items and you feel out of place, or you're like, oh God, that's really expensive. You're clearly not the version of you that is, it's natural to be around expensive things. And the version of you that it's natural, that isn't uncomfortable in that expensive store, that's the version of you that can actually have money. You see? So that's just an example. When things on a pedestal, you're pushing it away. Normalize it. Normalize it. Become neutral with it. And that means stop wanting it or putting importance on it entirely, because while you're doing that, you're not neutral, it's not normalized, and you won't actually get to experience it in reality. You'll always keep it in your mind. When you grab your hands around something, you don't have it anymore. It's like, it's this weird thing. And so when you just let it all be and you let yourself be, you're not reaching for everything. You're not making it super important. You just are. It just is. And you just live your life. Be here now as the you that you are in this very moment. And I don't know for sure because I'm not you. But what if there was a big old heap and steam and amazing feast of a plate being handed to you right now in this very moment, and you just don't realize it because you're too busy worrying about this or that or thinking that this thing is super important. So you're looking up here and you're missing that right here is this juicy, juicy plate. You want to know the craziest thing? I've started eating the plate that's been given to me right now in this moment. And the more I eat it, the more life keeps serving me new plates because I'm actually eating what's being given to me. And so more keeps coming. Now, I don't know if these things are like legit mechanics or this is how it works. I honestly, I don't. It's my experience I'm having right now. What do you think? Or not? Maybe we don't need to spend time thinking about it or worrying about it or try to define it or put it in boxes or thinking that we've mastered it or wondering if we'll still have it tomorrow. Maybe we just, at the end of this video, we just walk away. We don't keep thinking about it. We just be. We just live our lives. Whatever room you're in, whatever situation's next, you just be in it. You don't have to toss and turn this whole video over in your mind or wonder, what does it mean? Or is this possibly the next level up for me? What if we just, as soon as it was over, as soon as I pushed this end button, what if we just lived our lives? What would happen if we just lived? What would happen if we just be here now? Let's see.